All right, hello and welcome. Today we got a topic on our hands. Today I'm going to be talking about what is Mugen, why you would be interested in using it, what the difference between a compilation is and a full game Ikemen, why you would want to use Ikemen, some Ikemen games that are made on it. Just go over some basics so people can kind of understand these things when they see them. So first thing first is when you download Mugen, you're gonna see this, right? Mugen is not a game, right? There's this misconception that people think it's a game, right? Mugen is not a game. Mugen, I always compare it to other engines for some reason, just because if it's history, salty bed, and things of that nature, people kind of have no idea what they're really talking about when it comes to what this actually is. This is an engine. This is not a game. This is no different than you downloading a toolkit from Unreal, Unity, and using some assets that already come with it, pre-configured. This is no different than that. Mugen itself is not a game. It's an engine in which you can make a game on it, similar to Ikemen, right? And I'm going to touch on that a little bit after I talk about Mugen more specifically. So as you see when you first download this, it has the character that comes with it, Kung Fu Man. Many people use this character as a basis to create other ones and so forth. This was the first Mugen character, right? So anyways, when you download this, it comes as any other, like I said, any other toolkit, right? It comes with its own preset things already set up for you. But this in itself is not a game, right? It's like, obviously it works, it functions, it comes with a character that you can use, but it's not meant to just stay like that, right? It's meant to be customized and for you to take it to the next level. It's for people to do far more than like what this just is on its own, right? So as I said, this is just an engine. This itself is not a game. It takes a lot to make a game, and the term game is kind of thrown out and used too much when it doesn't necessarily apply to all of the things that we see out there. As I said, we're going to talk about compilations. I've made many compilations myself, and I'm going to go over that and give you a little history on my projects and my compilations until the point that I am currently today, when I was like, you know what, I'm tired of doing this. I want to try to do something more difficult. That's why I tried to make a game. So anyhow, now that we looked at Mugen and what Mugen is, now we're going to look at full games, right? So full games are when someone tries to take it to the next level, right? When they want to actually create something that is functional, right? And when people say full game, what they're trying to say is that, like, you're trying to make something commercial, right? And then people love to twist that word around. You got to be careful when you use that, even though most people use that simply to say that you're trying to create something that you would buy in a store. No, it doesn't mean that you have to pay for it. It just means that you want to create that type of quality. You want to create an experience. You're not just, we're going to look at that, downloading characters and just putting them in what they call the screen pack, which screen pack is just the UI of what it is. Screen pack is the UI. That's the backgrounds, the life bars, and all of those things. That is the UI. It's just a term for UI. Let me fix the screen here. All right, so I just typed in Google Mugen full games, and then we're gonna look at some things that are full games and other things that misuse the name, right? As I said, people use the term even when it's not necessarily a game, right? Because I'm gonna go over what constitutes as a game, in my opinion, things that you need to do, and that's again why we bring up commercial, because that's the minimum to be and feel like a commercial game. That's the minimum for those who want to try to make something more professional, right? So I'm just gonna go here and look at. I'm just gonna click on this one first because it's right here at the top. I just typed in Mugen full game at the top, and this says Mugen full game. Even though this is not a game. And the game, when I say game, I mean in the most technical sense of, like, you can call it a game because it is something you could download and play. But when we're talking about functional fighting games, somewhat balanced, adhering to some standard, some consistency, I assure you that these are not those things. Like, this is not what we would call a game. This is known as what's known as a compilation, right? A compilation is you download assets that other people have created, you download them, and then you can create this yourself, this UI. You could create a UI yourself, but you're downloading characters that are not consistent with one another. This character's from this person, this character's from that person. There's no cohesiveness. There's nothing that, there's no standard that all characters play the same, whatever. It works in that way. So just looking at this, Mugen Nation shout out. I'm gonna shout out everybody who's on here. So, like I said, this is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Mugen by Mugen Nation, downloading gameplay. So, just right after that, we're looking at this, and then we're looking at the UI. Doesn't look like anything that's from JoJo. I don't know where the life bars are from exactly, but it seems pretty random. Looking at the characters, Death 13 isn't really doing as much. He probably can't do it as much because these characters are literally just, you go to a website and download them, and if they are the same series, it's like there's like different types of compilations, right? There's compilations of people adding Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Looney Tunes, Peter Griffin, Homer, whatever, the random ones. And then there's those that people will only put JoJo-esque characters in one, though it's still a compilation. To not be a compilation, they have to create a custom UI. All the characters should play similar, function, have the same utilities like system mechanics and things of that nature. Just for me, looking at this, I can already tell it's not the case. Looking at this deal on the screen, the first attack is coming up and it's still using the JoJo fonts from that game. Then you look in the back and you see the 2-hit combo, which is completely different, doesn't match the JoJo aesthetic. So right away, you could tell that this is not an actual game. This is a compilation. So I'm not going to stick on this one. I'm just going to go. And then I'm not going to stay on this one person's channel because from the looks of it, these are all similar. Okay, so there are some Mugens that I'm going to touch on some actual full games as well. Don't worry. I'm just starting off with these compilations first, okay? We're going to get there, okay? Don't worry. So what I wanted to say, though, this is not to throw shade at anyone or put anyone down because a lot of the times it's best to start this way because you eventually start and you learn because there's no teachers in this. You have to learn and figure everything out. As many of you probably have figured out by yourself by now. No one's going to help you. No one's going to teach you how to do this or that. So I personally agree that you should find something that you like, that you're interested in, and just keep editing away and keep on doing it. Because I know a lot of you take pride in this, and I'm not trying to shit on you because I know I started off this way as well, just like you did. So I endorse you do this. Just try and find something you like and just keep messing with it, editing it until you want to make it your own thing. Eventually, I feel like people start off that way and then they get so into it that they just keep messing with it, and then they want to make a game themselves. So what I was going to say about this in particular, some people do add extra things that you would see in games, right? Like character intros, character bios, things like that. Some of these things can have that, and you are on your way to make it a game. If you're doing this to your compilation, you might as well make a game. You're already on your way to doing just that anyways, because to make a game is to want to create exclusives, make some unique gameplay, things that you're not going to see in anyone else's project, and it's going to be unique to you. You want it to stand out. You want it to look good. You want it to look commercial. That's the goal for making a game. You want to create an experience. Let's remember that. So looking at this, it has some intros. Cool. So this one is a bit better so far because the UI is Mortal Kombat. The characters, the sprites are similar somewhat. Though they're made by different creators, so that's going to be an issue. Oops. Actually, full screen that. Okay, so it's actually using the same. Everyone's using the same combo system. Fast forwarding it. So from looking at this one compared to the other one, there was a lot more work that went into this one compared to the other one. I have not played this specifically, so you would have to test it yourself to see how like Mortal Kombat it is, but that seems very Mortal Kombat-esque right there, where he just finished him and then did the fatality. This one is in the right direction in my opinion, so hey, this one seems pretty dope. So this one is definitely on its way. I would have to, let me see if it shows the character select or anything. It doesn't. So the main thing about this one though is the sprite inconsistency, right? And a lot of times people are going to use whatever they can find because not everything exists in sprite format. A lot of people do not know that. They are unwise on that completely. And that's why you see posts like mine where I use my own money and we come together to create news assets for anyone who's interested in also helping out. So yeah, people just use whatever's available and they try to make it work, which is that's what looks like this individual did. But Yeah, that's like one of the biggest things from that I noticed. So in the case where there's nothing else you could do, there's nothing else you could do. You just gotta make it work. So let's just go to another one. So Dragon Ball Z or freaking Notorious. So this one is using the same UI as the one we looked at the first time, not Dragon Ball Z. The hit sparks are, let's see if they're the same between the characters. Okay, that character just went through the ground. Can this other character even attack? Yeah, this character is not attacking at all. So right there, the character does not function properly. That means that you did not put in the proper. Listen, as I'm speaking on this, I am not ragging on this individual because these are some common things you should look out for. And if you ever are looking online trying to find something to play to entertain yourself with, these are some of the things you should look out for. I am not shitting on this individual. I am 100% sure that this is not the person who created these characters. This is the person who organized these builds and put it together, more than likely, not the one who created each of the characters. So it's not on him. But this character does not mesh with this character that we see right now. And then as we see right now, it just already looks like this character, Goku, is about to destroy this Captain Ginyu, as I thought. You're gonna see a lot of that. Okay, right away, that's obviously a red flag. I'm just gonna keep moving. You do not want that. That is what gives Mugen its name, for being all crusted up, like all messed up and crazy like that. Halloween game 2020. So this one is another compilation. A bunch of characters who did not go together. Darkstalkers characters. Looks like there's an evil Mario there. Ronald McDonald. So this is again what's known as a compilation. And as we see, it's a bunch of random characters made by different creators that don't go together, with nothing synced together, no UI synchronization or anything like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna move on from this person's channel and then go to something else. So here we are back here. Here's another section, and then I'm gonna also, here's what this one looks like, a good one. In this one, I'm trying to find some that are actually more unique and not all compilations, right? Because I just see a lot of compilations, as we see. And then these actual competitive Mugen, these are just like these compilations, but people may go in and edit the characters more. But this is more of like your salty bit type of thing. Just looking at this attack right here, is this really competitive? No, it's just obviously people using it for comedy as usual. And then a lot of these are just that same thing, whatever. So let me go to this. So a lot of people use full game to get views, to get people to click, to download, or whatever the case may be. But full game is too overused, unfortunately. Everyone uses it to get those clicks, and that's just how it is, even when it's not really a game. But the thing is, with making a game, it takes a lot of time. And I'm going to go over the specifics of why making a game is actually more shunned, right? Because people get angry if you don't hurry up and release something because they feel entitled to it. They feel like the moment they see it, it's theirs and they want it. And someone even told me once, I'm dangling something over their face over my own YouTube channel. Like, which people are crazy on the internet, we already know, but I don't want to spend too much time on that. Let's continue looking at this. So as we see, just looking at this right away, there is nothing wrong with combining different sprite styles. You see it a lot with what I do, but the thing is, we take extra time and care to make sure that every sprite set is edited to be as close to each other as possible, right? To make it more consistent, even though it's not. We have Capcom sprites, we have SNK sprites, but when we do, we try to edit them the best we can. So to, like I said, for some consistency, to create an aesthetic. When people do this, they're not trying to create an aesthetic. They're just downloading a bunch of characters that are similar or close. Maybe if they do go that far to ensure that, but it's usually not. It's just a bunch of random characters that are just, and again, right away, we see Wild Eerie 2. This UI is from Vanguard Princess, I believe, or whatever. And then let's look at the hit sparks and things like that. So right away, these are probably Infinite's characters. Yep, they're gonna knock them in the air. So right away. So different creators have different styles that they make their characters in a lot of the time. So a lot of people will get all of that one creator's characters and try to make a build out of it, their own compilation out of it. This is one such thing like that. So I'm just gonna fast forward and see. So same thing. I just know we people who have been around, they just know this signature because, like I said, some creators have their own signature of how they do things, and just looking at the FX and everything, these are that person I mentioned earlier's characters. So someone downloaded all of their characters. They found a screen pack, and they just put those characters in this and uploaded it and called it a full game. And again, I'm not trying to throw shade on you, but I'm just saying, like, some people do that, and here's the draw, right? So there's some of us out there who care more for quality and things that are on that professional level, but not everyone is crazy about fighting games. A lot of people are casuals, right? And they do this for fun. So I say we should not shit on them because they're not trying to go for the same things we're going at, because everyone should be allowed to go at their own pace. Unfortunately, this stigma has created a very negative like attitude, and it has driven a lot of people away. A lot of people have been hurt and shunned and bullied out of this hobby, unfortunately. And that's kind of why I'm making these videos today, because I feel like my whole community was killed off and I want to do something to reverse that. So right now I'm going to continue with this and go on and continue to explain that we should not be so hard on people, because not everyone is going to get this overnight. They're making an effort, right? And everyone, when they begin in this hobby, hate whoever you want, spite whoever you want. If you're the type of person to hold on to hatred your entire life, hey, that's on you. But everyone enters this passion, this hobby, with the same intention. Intentions are more important to what your assumption is of this individual. Intentions are, most people who start this intend to create something and they want to share it with others. They do not have any idea that the person who's going to be looking at this is just someone who's been playing fighting games for their entire life, and they're going to critique them hard AF. I'm not saying to not give anyone fair critique, but we have to remember that not everyone is at the same level and not everyone has the same intention, right? Understand people's intention before you impulsively get angry. Come on, people. Okay, so anyhow, like I said, let's just go to another one. Let me see. I just think most of these are going to be the same, like, type of compilations. Right, this one. And again, okay, wait. This is the same one. It's just a different video on that. This one, Super Variable Neo Geo. Okay, so looking at the UI, I mean, like I said, there's levels to people creating UI, so not everyone's UI is gonna look all HD and whatever. It's, you know, it's what they want to go for. So this one is similar to what I had said before. This one is a compilation. This one looks to be a creator's compilation. I don't know these characters, the specifics of how they play and things like that. But from my understanding, just looking at this right up the bat, this UI, this screen pack, I don't know where it's from. It looks kind of familiar, like from something from Sega that was edited into this. But anyways, all of the characters seem to be from the same series, so it is a themed compilation. Let's use that term, a themed compilation, a compilation with a theme, right? A compilation that is not just a bunch of random characters. Well, I mean, these could still be random in the sense that they're from different creators, but they are from the same series, so that's why it is themed. So just looking at it, so let me just rewind it back. So looking at this character, she did a super. That's her FX. And that's her hit sparks. And then looking at this character, her FX is not the same. The hit sparks are not the same. So this looks like, as we said, okay, so this one may be from the same creator as the first one, but not the second. And then just fast forwarding it. Same for this one. And this one looks different. Yes, or the same, I don't know. Well, as we see, some of them are the same, some of them are not. But as we said, in some instances like this, people are not trying to be demonic and do these things. A lot of people create these things and upload them just for other people who do not want to download this stuff and configure it, can download something and just play it and have fun. Can have dumb fun. Not everything needs to be freaking a competitive, you know, professional product, because that's not everyone's intention. Let's remember that. Ask people or ask someone what their intention is with what they want to do. They do not have to make something up to your standard, and that's a huge problem that I've seen in the Mugen community for years. So again, I'm gonna go to another channel. This one here, Mega Man X Battle in Time. And don't worry, I see the names. I don't care who it is. I don't hold grudges over anybody. This is an educational video, and we're gonna do some educating. So right away, looking at this UI, someone spent some time to make it look different. Someone tried to make it look more unique. Someone tried to add professional touch to it, which is always appreciated. This is a step up in my opinion, and this is headed in the right direction already. Because this UI is from Mega Man X Collection. Is this on Mugen or Ikemen? I'm not sure. It doesn't stay. But I'll see after. Wait, actually, let me see the modes. I wasn't paying attention. Let me see. Training versus. Okay, I think this is on Mugen. If you don't see online or whatever, then you know that it's more than likely not Ikemen. Okay, so the character select screen looking tight already, looking different, looking unique. Custom portraits already. When something has custom portraits, they are trying to make a game. Custom portraits are one of the most annoying things to do, obviously. And that's you trying to make sure everything looks consistent and has a professional look to it. This person is on their way. Mega Man X Battle in Time. You guys can see the names there. So if you want to download this and try it, you can see for yourself. So this one, already the characters seem to have a consistent gameplay style. Look at the life bar, look at the UI, it's Mega Man X. This is literally like a Mega Man X type of gauntlet type of game from the looks of it. Okay, that's very Mega Man X-esque. Then it goes to the next fight. So this one can be called a game. This is an actual game because as we saw what you start with Mugen, they put everything together. The gameplay is consistent. It looks like between the characters. The theme is set. They have a custom UI, custom portraits, everything like that. This could be called the game. This one, Clay Fighter, Infinite Clay Fire. This is on Mugen as well. I'm just gonna fast forward it. So this creator, I remember that this person made all of these characters automatically. So this can be called the game because the problem with constituting something as a game is usually people mishmashing different authors together. So this person did this and another person does something similar but not exactly the same. Even that slight difference in a competitive type of setting, if they were going for that, could completely mess things up. And you know, but if one individual is making all the characters, it's more than likely that everything is going to be the same because everything was made by that same person. So this one, I'm just going to skip through it because I already know that, yeah, so this one, all of the characters are, because no one is really interested in these characters except for this guy I know. And there's probably a few others, but yeah, definitely this looks very much like Clay Fighters. The UI, all the characters have the portraits, everyone's in the same art style, the gameplay looks consistent, the hit sparks are the same. This one is a game, and this one is made on Mugen. Alright, so this one is on Ikemen. So hopefully by now you understand the difference in between what a compilation is and what is a game, what constitutes as a game. To be a game, that means that you are trying to go for something that looks like it's commercial, that looks like something you would buy in stores, and you're just trying to go for that professional quality. World Heroes Perfect 2023, it says free Ikemen. So this is on the Ikemen engine. So when we look at the menus on here, I'm going to show you the difference between Ikemen and Mugen. So if we already looked at Mugen a little bit from the menus, it's just some basic menus. You're not going to have any of the standout modes that I'm going to talk about if I see them here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I didn't see the modes anyway, so I'm going to have to find another one that goes over the modes. But for this already, anyone who's played World Heroes already, look at the not only is the select screen similar to the game, a feature that is unique to Ikemen and only Ikemen unless you use Mugen with hacks. I know about these Mugen hacks, whatever. I'm not gonna really get into the specifics of that. With Ikemen, you don't have to use any hacks. It's just downloading and automatically it's gonna already be like that. You don't have to configure, do these workarounds and all of that. Those type of things, Mugen workarounds, like there are things that are still possible in Mugen, but those are for people who are diehard Mugen fans who want to use it and stick to it specifically so they can test their coding skills and they can do what normally cannot be done without workarounds. Like you have to create some crazy coding workarounds just to get something like this to work. And I'm talking about to have the character on the select screen and to be, you know, animated like that. That's something unique with Ikemen that you see, and a lot of freaking old school games had this. So the reason why a lot of people use Ikemen is because the main thing, the important factor here is that you can create something closer to a source game. That is the main breakaway. If you're a casual who's just using this stuff for dumb fun, you don't care about any of these specifics, using Mugen or Ikemen really doesn't matter to you. It's not going to be different at all. And my bad, I'm all facing this way, but I'm just talking into the microphone. So looking at this one, the gameplay looks consistent. The UI, the life bars, you see some of the Ikemen features, having the computer level up here, having the press start thing up here, seeing the combo things when they come in, the combo messages. If someone does a combo attack, you should see it. But they're only showing single hit attacks. So let me see, go a bit further. And then there's individuals out there who recreate the interactives that are in these games. So World Heroes has a lot of interactives in the stage, like traps and things like that. Okay, so that one right there was not from World Heroes. That was from KOF. And then looking at this Hanzo, the hit sparks are also from KOF. So this may actually in fact be a compilation that has gone far but is still on the cusp of not fully being there, only because of that. But let me see if all the characters have the same hit sparks and everything, then we'll see. But from earlier that I looked, that was not the case. And as we see, the ground right here, this character was made by someone I know who does not make Soul Striker characters, so this it's probably a compilation. Let's fast forward a bit. Okay, her hit sparks are the same. It's just the first two guys, their hit sparks did not seem like they were the same. But if everyone's hit sparks are the same and everything, then that's just an aesthetic choice that they went with. Though it is not from World Heroes itself. Okay, so everyone does seem to potentially have those KOF hit sparks. But that's Fuma. That's another character made by the same creator. Damn, got some bonus stages in there. Again, so this is something typically you would see in an arcade game, right? You play a few rounds and then there's a bonus stage. This, again, is going the extra mile to try to create that experience that you've seen in these type of older games. So again, you're not going to see this in a lot of these older Mugen compilations because their goal is to just download, put things together, wrap it up, upload, and boom. That's it. For people like this, they're sitting at home, spending hours and hours, staying up till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning, working on this, making sure, because they're trying to create an experience. That is the difference. I'm just trying to see if this character has the same. Okay, so it seems like it's not the same for this character. But he's getting whooped, so. Okay, so the AI in this video is not doing anything, so. The AI is literally just standing there, so. I mean, dang, I'm trying to find something. Let me see way back in the beginning, when there was these two characters fighting. Yeah, so what I thought, he was Mudman was not using the same freaking hit sparks and everything, so that was not the same. So anyways, man, I've looked at a lot of these that are more so compilation than not. Now I'm gonna start looking at the games that are from the beginning to where they started to the end, for people who are still working on it, the actual games, those that can actually be called games. So let me see ones I can find here. Wait. Let me see. What's another popular Mugen full game? Oh, like Capcom Universe, I think. Yeah, let me see. Uh, these are not the ones that was made actually by Veximus. I want the one that was actually made by him, but I think he deleted his channel, unfortunately. Hmm. I'm just gonna go to this one right here. So again, right away with something like this, as you can see, when people go out of their way to try to make something look, it's its own unique look. It doesn't look like anything else that you've seen out there. You can go download Capcom Universe now. I couldn't give you the specifics of where. I haven't been following it, but just type it in on Google. You should be able to find it. There's different versions. Me personally, I suggest using the one made by the original creator Beximus, but I believe there's some other version out there. You use that at your own discretion. It's up to you. Whichever one you like better, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But anyways, as we see, you can just this particular video is about one character, right? Let's see one that shows more characters so you can see what I'm saying about the aesthetic. And this person, Beximus, he tried to create Capcom Universe. His goal was to create an experience, and he tried to create his own game that was different and unique from everyone. And I have to tell you that that is very hard and difficult to do, and I will explain why to you. So as we see, look at this. Everything that you're seeing in this, you don't see in any of these other things, right? This guy, look how crazy he's going, right? He's using all the workarounds and completely pushing everything to the absolute limit to get things to look like this. And then he paid money to get this character completely sprited from nothing so he could have an exclusive character in his game, right? So I have to stop and say that this creator was trying to create an experience. He wanted to create his own game just for the fun of it, to give people an experience, something that felt like a new game, that, you know, touching on nostalgia, and it just feels fresh and new and exclusive, right? When people do this, they are not doing it out of spite. They're not trying to keep things private from you so you can't have it. A lot of people get this. It's like that's the first thing they go to in their mind. Maybe their parents, they're used to getting everything when they were a kid, whatever. I don't know how they come to that conclusion. But I've been in a similar situation myself. I can even show you guys some comments. I'll show you in another video exactly what I'm talking about, how people are weird on the internet, we know. Anyways, this guy went out of his way to try to create some new characters and everything, something similar to what I'm doing now. But the thing is, why it's hard to make a game in the Mugen community, because people do not like to see something that they cannot have, right? They feel entitled to everything because Mugen, the engine itself, is free, but the things that you make in your time does not have to be. I'm not saying to sell anything that you're making like this. You're not selling someone Mega Man. You're selling them your time that you spent encoding it and editing it and doing whatever you are doing with it. Because you can go and download the basic one from Marvel vs. Capcom 2 that people have made. You could download the sprite sheets. You could download all of this stuff and individually put it together yourself. But if you want someone to do it for you, they should be compensated for their time. I'm just saying, I'm simply saying that as people should not feel entitled to something just because the engine that is made on is free. You are not entitled to anyone's time or what they spend making on it. If you want something, I always say make it yourself, but that will piss a lot of people off. But for me personally, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna tell everybody that shit if they're being rude and everything. But anyways, this guy tried to make a game. He tried to make an exclusive character. Like Devilet was a character that was only gonna be in this project. But unfortunately, he paid all the money. No one wanted to help him. No one was reaching out, giving him help, giving him money so it could be easier to mitigate expenses. They waited for him to spend all his money on it, right? And they just want to rip the character from his game and take it to use it on their own thing. That's what people do. And I feel like this was one of the reasons why this guy lost a lot of steam in working on this project, because he tried so hard to create an experience and something unique for people to play, and people just ruined it because they wanted it for themselves. People do not like the fact that something out there exists that they can't have. They will form grudges. They will be spiteful, and you can see this in a lot of commenters. Hopefully, you guys will start to look at that and be aware of these people so we can single them out. So they're not just hating in disguise. I want people to notice these people. When you see people hating in the comments, yet They don't want to help. They don't want to do anything to make this go a reality. They simply feel entitled to all the work that you put in, and they should have it because Mugen is free. F that noise. Okay, but hold on here. So yes, as I was just saying about this, is this really hard to make a game, right? Because look, what would you guys rather have? Would you guys rather download a compilation that no one put any thought or love into, or would you rather have a full, complete vision of whatever this person wanted to create? This guy wanted to create a new freaking Capcom versus type of game with all these characters. So look at this. This is something we've always wanted, right? But the thing is, this takes a lot of time. This takes a lot of time, and that's one thing I've noticed that the Mugen community does not like. They do not like waiting for anything. For one, because we said they feel entitled to everything. So they don't care for this. They don't care for actual quality. They just want something as fast as possible to put it in their build to add to their collection. But for those who want to go the extra mile and actually create something like this, and when I say to create a product, it's not to sell. It's you want to create an experience. You want to create something that's actually good. You actually want to make something that's comparable to an actual game. This is next level. Anytime you play a game, if it's not like this at this level, especially any versus game that's out like this, use this as a basis to compare it to. Any versus game that's out there that's made in Mugen, Ikemen, it doesn't matter. Just look at this as an example to see the standard. This is someone trying to make an actual game. They're considering characters. They're considering, like I said, roster. They're considering balance. They're considering gameplay systems. I wish I had the video that he had on here before, but it's not on here, so that is unfortunate. Okay, so you see, now I'm gonna go to this one. So this one was made on Ikemen. Also Fatality. This is by Ryan and his buddy. How you pronounce your name? I'm not sure. But again, these guys did the same thing. The aesthetic is the same. All the stages are the same. They fit the Scott Pilgrim universe. Even though the moves seem different. But the thing is, it doesn't really matter. Like, whatever their gameplay is their gameplay. You know what I mean? So they can make it however they want it to be. It doesn't necessarily have to be about Scott Pilgrim, but all the characters are from there. It's just that the gameplay is unique to them. So they use Scott Pilgrim, the IP, but created their own gameplay. It's their own gameplay spin on it. So you should respect that. It's not trash because it's not exactly how these characters talk, the voices, the moves, whatever. They just simply use these characters to create their own thing. This is the same thing. If they're doing the same process, everything is consistent. So nothing is out of whack because from the looks of it, all characters are wacky. All characters have these different moves and everything like that. So Scott Pilgrim versus all these games I'm talking about, you guys simply just download them. As you see this video, just search it up on YouTube and download the ones that you think look fun to you. So I know I heard Radit's voice in there. Okay, so a lot of times people just use different voices from different stuff because, you know, we have to use what resources are available to us. So it's not much that you can do about that. You know, it is what it is. So another popular 4 game that was made on Mugen is this one. KOF Wing, shout out Vanny. And then I'm going to use KOF Wing as an example, right? So there are so many KOF Wings. I could not tell you those that are original and those that are spin-offs. Basically, I don't know who, but there was an individual who made the name KOF Wing popular, but then it spun, and there's like so many spin-offs of it, so many derivatives of people trying to make their own KOF Wing that are not necessarily the same as the original creator's intent. So there's a bunch of those out there. I could not tell you all the different ones because I don't know. I'm just going to go to like what I believe to be one of the latest ones. Like this one here. No, not this one. Vanny, man, why did you change? I told you this. You changed the FX and everything. Now it looks way worse than it did before when you had your own original thing. I apologize. I mean, why am I apologizing? I'm just saying, like, how you had it before was way better. Unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people kind of give in to what's popular now because they want more It's not. That's why I say you got to look at intention. People don't just want intention. They're not just trying to get views. They're trying to meet new people and gain friends from this stuff. They're trying to showcase their own vision of this and get more people to, because it's fun. Imagine having people around to just talk about and enjoy this stuff with. It's just not possible or not existent because everyone's always arguing, complaining over something, creating some drama, moving the goalposts, and just holding grudges and all that BS stuff. So unfortunately, a huge side of the Mugen community is that. I would say 90% of it, unfortunately, is that. This is why there's not many of us, right? So we create this divide, right? Just because over some pettiness. And I always use Broly, how he was mad at Goku over crying, like, and he hates his guts over that. That is the pettiness that you're gonna see with a lot of people in this community. And as you guys are watching this, I'm not saying this for you to be like, oh yeah, I agree. I had this a bad experience. Hey, if you had this bad experience, that's cool. I understand. No one deserves to be treated any kind of way. No one deserves to be disrespected. But the thing is, I feel like now these days, it's too much emotional investment involved in people we don't even know. So people are feeling disrespected and you don't even know that person and you don't even know their intention. Like people get angry first and ask questions later. They don't need the facts on anything. Everyone's already angry already because life is so messed up already as it is. So the last thing you need is feeling like someone is disrespecting you. But I'm trying to tell you, that's such a distraction and it has killed this community already and pushed so many people away from it because no one wants to deal with that drama. We just want to make games and talk about games and share that. We want to, hey, I made this, check it out. Oh, you made this way. Oh, check it out. Because that's what I do with Strong FS all the time. He makes something, I'm like, oh, sick, man. But hey, I'm about to outdo that. That's how we do it, but everyone else is so short-sighted, negative, angry about something, holding some grudge over some hearsay they don't know. Who knows? Stealing characters, stealing code. If you do not own these sprites, if you do not own any of this stuff, the moment you publicly release it, it is no longer yours. So consider that before you make something and release something publicly. When you make something and release something publicly, you do not get to decide and handpick who gets to use it and who doesn't. You do not have that right. You lost it the moment you lost your exclusive rights to it the moment you release it, right? But when it comes to people who are making games, that is just something it's an unfortunate thing that comes with the territory, right? But I'm making these videos because I want people to not have to live in fear of making games because they fear that someone's going to come and rip all their assets out. They're going to rip all their things to make their own thing. So I'm doing this in hopes that you can look at these games so you can see where the source is. So if you see where the source is, be more mindful, you're going to know where it came from, right? This is so people won't have to go out of their way to mole box their projects and everything. They're not doing it to be devils or evil. They're doing it because they want to have exclusives for their own projects. And it will be cool if specifically for games and projects that would be something that could be respected, right? Projects, games, if you release something publicly for a compilation or whatever, you have no plans to do that, that's on you. Each individual dictates what they release it and when they release it. What they release and when they release it. Like for me, the things that I'm doing, I don't have to release anything just because X person did. I don't have to do, we are not entitled to do the same thing because we all have different intentions. Respect each other's intentions. Even if you don't respect the individual, respect each other's intentions. You are not entitled to anything. It doesn't matter that you gave this, you did this much, you gave to the community, just like I have, and I got nothing in return. You don't owe me shit. No one owes anyone anything. It doesn't matter how salty you are that someone is getting praise on a video that you feel like they don't deserve. All this envy and hate and pettiness, which kills our community, makes people not want to get into it, makes people not want to create characters because they already know what's going to happen. And if you see the state of all forums and everything, that's all you're going to see. Forums dead. People hiding in their little private discords talking shit. Like, really? That's what everyone is about? So for all of you currently sitting in those situations right now, hanging around with people, grown men who gossip about other men like little girls, consider who you're hanging out with. I'm just saying. Maybe you're not the problem. So I know I went off on a tangent there because it's just very unfortunate because like just looking at this stuff is like, man, look at the advancements that we could have if everyone was not always going at each other's throats all the time. Literally just hate. No one is going to be happy for one another because they're too busy holding a grudge from 7 years ago, 20 years ago, I don't know. People who got attacked by the Mugen police and all of that stuff, like, damn, it was bad. I wasn't there for all of it, but I've heard It's unfortunate that even today that people cannot get over their egos. They cannot get over their vindictive personalities. But just look at KO Wing right now. As we see, this is a game. Unique attacks, unique super moves, triple team. Actually, let me just go to the trailer. I believe there was a trailer. Shout out Vandy again and to Dire team because they make a lot of fire content. So remember what we said about a game. Consistency. Looks professional. It looks like something you could buy. Remember that those words are like buzzwords. These are buzzwords. Don't take them at face value. Look, max mode, universal gameplay system. All characters got the super cancel. The hit sparks are the same. The UI is the same. Everyone has the life bar portraits. Got tag mode. Got single mode. Got new moves from KOF 14. The Rock was doing that. Comes with 3 different screen packs. Now this is just overkill. Vanny was going in, so shout out Vanny again. Okay. I'm still going to outdo this game too, though. Look, new moves, new combo routes. Hold on. I just got to say one thing. A lot of people will claim that something is the same or the copy. Listen, as I said before, you do not own freaking KOF characters. You do not own SNK. You have no rights over the IP. You cannot police it. It does not matter how high you feel in authority you are in some community. You have no say so in any of this stuff. It's got to be understood. If 2 people make Chonchu in the game, mostly everyone is referencing the source games until they go and make it unique with their own gameplay aspect. That is fine and that is fair. Just because you have 2 people and both Ryus are doing a Hadouken, because this person does it first, the first person does not get to claim it as their creation. That's not how it works. But again, like we said, people be trying to police that stuff, as you guys have already seen already. Look at this. There's some power-ups. Look at that shield, the power-up thing. Another double team attack. You're rarely gonna see team attacks in game. Like, you're rarely gonna see team attacks in a game. Like, cause it's like a lot. Look at this, and then changing the palette on the character select. Dang. New characters. Hey, so this game could have been way better without Domino. Just saying. Everyone knows that Notorious. So this game is the closest you're going to get to a KOF game, feeling like an actual KOF game and having its own unique gameplay and all of that. The only downside about this game, I could tell you, is the AI. The AI is random. It's not consistent between characters. I'm just giving critique. I'm not shitting on this at all. That's the only bad thing. Not even a bad thing. That's the only thing. That's the main thing I think that could be improved on this. But obviously, this is the 2020 version. There's a newer version I have not seen. Those things could have been changed and adjusted. I don't know. But from the last time I played it, the AI is crazy. And everybody knows that Domino fight was just ridiculous. So anyways, that's KOF Wing. This is a game. This is on Mugen. So someone pushed it to the next level to create an experience like this. It doesn't matter that they did not use Ikemen. If they did use Ikemen, they could have things like online, more modes, boss rush, whatever, like ranking screen and things that you see like in a traditional arcade startup. This could have that, but because they use Mugen, it does not. So it doesn't matter if they have it or not, but I'm just saying if they wanted to port it over to Ikemen, they could. To have access to those features, they could. Maybe someday, I don't know. So let me see, what else? Capcom Universe. So the thing with Hyper Dragon Ball Z is that most people know Mugen because of that. But Hyper Dragon Ball Z itself is not a game yet. I have no idea what the creator's intention is. So I couldn't really say, but and then again, I want to say that Hyper Dragon Ball Z also had the same effect that I believe the devs are trying to work on all the characters first before they try to make the game itself, because they make it in a way that even though these characters are for a set game, you can still download them and use them in your Mugen. Not everyone does that, nor does everyone have to do that. But I'm just saying, they seem to be doing that. And I was going to say a lot of things with this as well, is that there's a lot of fan edits of these characters as well that are not from the actual devs themselves. I couldn't point out and tell you all the specifics of which one, but not all of them are from the devs. As I said, as you see, this UI, whatever, this is from 2014. Let's just look at this a little bit. So again, if they're creating all the characters, that already is going in the direction of being its own thing, all right? Because everything is when I say original, I don't mean they own Dragon Ball. I mean that they originally sprited all the characters themselves, so it's irrefutable that you could say that this is not its own thing. So I think this stuff is just a mock-up. I don't know, but as I was saying, that just from looking at all these videos and everything that I've seen on this, nothing seems to be set in stone yet. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not following you. I'm not trying to give you any misinformation. But as far as I know, that this is like they're doing the characters first in that way, and then later everything is gonna be essentially in one pack, one build with everything put together and aligned and fit to where it's all Z2 characters versus each other, and whatever they do with that. As I said, you would have to look this up and follow it yourself. I'll just go on here and see if there's a latest video. This was 1 year ago. So like I said, they are just doing characters and doing different builds. So the thing with this is that you could download this Vegeta, this Goku, and put them in your Mugen with Ryu and Ken fighting in Street Fighter if you wanted to. But not every creator is making their characters so they're compatible with Mugen and anything else you decide to use. But it seems as though they do that in that way. But as you see, all the characters have the same physics. That's something I probably didn't mention. Physics is also important. All characters have the same physics, like a sense of gravity, the sense of the hits. All the hit sounds are the same. In addition to the hit sparks, the UI is consistent. It's Dragon Ball-esque. It fits the theme. It checks all the boxes for what a game is. So, like I said, most people already know about this one. This got to be the most popular Mugen game that's ever existed because it's on Dragon Ball. So there's really no beating that. And so many people have played it as well. So many people know about it. But as I said, looking at some of these, not all of these are like the official versions of that. What else? What other Mugen game? I think those are like the main three, I believe. The main three Mugen games. Anything made by Two Dyer? Anything, I think, let me see. How do you... Probably spelling it wrong. Okay, yes. Anything made by Two Dyer is going to be solid. I wanted to show this as well because they also did make a Neo Geo Battle Coliseum game on Mugen. So hopefully there's people out there who have played the original game, but I'm just going to watch this so you can see. Okay, so this is... Anyway, actually, let me do this. Neo Geo. Then I'm going to go to gameplay. PS2. So that's the intro. I'm fast forwarding it. As we see, this is the intro that's in the game. In the Mugen, it's the same. They also got the intro in there. Oops. I know I'm kind of fast forwarding it, but anyways, just to show that they have the intro that's also in this one. So already they were going to try to, they're trying to mimic the actual game, right? There's two different sides of the community out there. There's those who want to create experiences, which I'm going with, and those who just want to have fun and do some casual stuff, whatever. We should not shit on them that they want to do that, or that's the best that they can do at this time. Give them time to learn. Who knows? Maybe something will turn out of it. I think you should support everyone, just that they're trying to make an effort to do something. It's all this hate, and again, you don't know anyone's intentions. Why assume that you know and hate them and you don't even know? People making these compilations could think they're doing everyone a service for all you know. Why hate on them? They're not literally doing anything demonic by doing that. I think it's a lot of misguided hate. So that's the intro. Got the press start screen in there. That's also something that you see as staple in games. staple in games. What do most fighting games have? They have an intro, they have a press start screen. Already, well, this is looking at the game. So this actual game appears too, and this is the extra screen. Now go back to this Mugen. Fast forward. They got the press start screen right there to the main menu. So there were some slight differences there, but look and see the difference between the Mugen and the actual game. And this game's so underrated, my goodness. Order select. Order select, you do not see in normal Mugen. This is something that you, okay, in regular Mugen, you have to create a workaround to make this function. I'm not going to go on the specifics of how, but you can do it with code. And Ikemen, you can automatically do this by default because they've coded it in there for anyone to use at the baseline. You don't have to configure it or do anything special. So it chose the order, it's loading. Into a fight. So it's got the UI up there. Let's get a good look at the UI. Got the winds up there. Not all of these things are going to be perfectly imitated one-to-one, but we're just looking at it like to see the differences that we can spot out at first glance. Okay, so anytime you see the option screen, people know. But you can customize it to make it look different. So obviously the single simul turns and everything, that's unique to because it's Mugen. But everything else looks the same. Order select is in there. Like I said already, this is a game because they recreated something like that. Remember, this is a Mugen. So from the stages to the UI to the tag system, these are all things they did to try to make it feel like the actual game. So here's the thing, why do you need a Mugen version of a game when you can just play the game? Hey, not everyone has access to these games like as you do, as I do, whatever the case may be. You never know. And then a lot of this stuff is like they're doing so many people a favor, like who can't afford these things. They may have a low-end PC, they can't play the latest games, who knows? They don't have a console, whatever the case may be. So that's why this stuff existing, that's why compilations and all that stuff existing is not a negative thing. Is that people are only looking at it from their own perspective, their own lens. They're not considering anyone else or anyone else's feelings or anyone else's intention. Look at the counter on there. So it does not have the winds and things like that. And then let me see, the UI is kind of different. It's missing those edges and things like that. This is possible in Ikemen, though it's not in Mugen. But you know, when I say it's not possible in Mugen, obviously if someone went out of their way to try to do that, they could, but you're gonna have to do a workaround. But some people kind of get worked up. They're like freaking diehard Mugen fans. Are like, well, actually, you can. Yes, you can if you want to do all the extra work just to do something you can already do by default in Ikemen. That's fine. Some people want to do it for the sake of being able to do it, and that's obviously admirable. Do whatever you want. Just no need to complain or bitch about it, really. Like if you're gonna do that, that's cool. It's got the red life on there. It's got the same UI, the windscreen and everything. Let me see. I'm just gonna fast forward it to the windscreen on here. Okay, so some things that we just saw, like the wins and the time and the please await, stuff like that, is not on there, but it's pretty darn close. Wait, hold on. Did they do the time left? And they even got it so the time left is on there, I believe. That's accurate. One thing I do remember about this in particular is that, you know, in some fighting games where you lose a round, KOF 99 immediately comes to mind because Chrysalid used to destroy me in that game. Anyways, when you lose, you have a choice. It comes up. This was in SNK games, mini SNK games. Like, you get choices like you're gonna fight the boss again, but they're gonna be at half health. You're gonna have full energy, or they're gonna. There's like a variety of different options you could choose to make the fight easier if you lose. This Mugen version also has this, and I have not seen many games that have implemented such a system in it. I believe more recently I've seen someone replicate it in Ikemen, but this is the only Mugen game I've ever seen to have this. So Neo Geo Battle Coliseum by Two Dyer, I recommend this. This is a game. This is something you want to play. I feel as though once you guys play and have more experience with these type of things, you're gonna see why, like, people care about it as much as they do. Those who actually put the time in to try to create some, like I said, an experience. And it's just crazy because people are trying to make games out here, but people see Mugen and they think Salty Bet, they think Homer System and Peter Griffin. Unfortunately, these people who are out here putting in work are not going to get the respect they deserve because people only know that side of it. And I'm hyping up Mugen because it doesn't matter if it's Mugen and Arkman. It's whatever. If you're gonna go hard on it, you're gonna go hard on it. And as we see with this, they went hard on it, and they've created an experience, even though it's Mugen. It doesn't matter what it is. It's all based on the creator's intention, what they want to do with that particular thing they're working on. So now, I'm gonna go to the other Mugen game that I know that someone is still working on. What's your game's name, man? I think Darkstalkers season something, right? Season of Souls. Season. So this is another example of an individual who is stubborn AF, my boy. Just will not convert to Ikemen. But the thing is, it's not about converting to the latest and greatest. For a lot of people, it's that I want to challenge and push myself to the absolute limits, and I want to push Mugen to the absolute. And engine does not matter. I keep saying that. Though I'm also going to say that Ikemen does have a lot of advancements that are far beyond Mugen at this point. But if you want to continue to use Mugen, it's all on you. If you want to put that extra work in to create these systems, by all means, like I said, people do that more so to challenge themselves. Or this individual was working on this so long, he just was like, all right, I might as well finish what I started. Well, this individual was trying to make his own Darkstalkers game. Vampire Seasons of Souls, excuse me. So he has his own system. He has his own UI. All the hit bars, all the characters got the same hit bars, got unique supers. Got the red health up there, the flashing lights. Got the Vampire Saber down system, that's custom. That's not naturally in Mugen or Ikemen. That's a system where, you know, when you lose a round, they get right back up. There's no reset between rounds or anything. So he coded that himself. People don't really understand like the intricacies of creating a fighting game, man. You guys watch a video and you think something is just, oh, this looks amazing, it must be done or whatever. Heck no. It's never over. Testing is never over. Debugging is never over. Literally. You make one change, that's freaking affecting the entire roster. People just don't know or respect it, and I want to change that by showing you the intricacies and the time that is necessary to make this stuff. And he has his own UI, he has his own victory screen. It has the music like the game. And then let me just go here real quick to see some other stuff. You see, he's got his own UI, got story mode. That's not a normal thing you see. He's got his press start screen. You know, your attract mode. I don't want to get your voice too much on here. But yeah, definitely check out this video if you guys want to hear about the specifics. He's talking about the specifics of this. Like I said, this is an individual who is trying to make a game. This is still in development. Vampire Season of Souls. Definitely check it out. This is on Mugen, I believe. But like I said, it doesn't matter. So definitely check this one out. You guys can have more time with it. For Darkstalkers fans, we've been waiting on that Darkstalkers 4. Hey, here's something to look forward to in the meantime. And then let me see. Ikemen Game. War games just a term that people use, but it just means that someone is trying to, like I said, create. When I say create an actual game, that's what I mean. Create an actual like experience. A lot of these are compilations. Doomboy Josh, yours over here. I'm gonna make an individual video on everyone who's working on a project. I've already sent out the message to some of you guys telling you to send me details on your game. Excuse me, and then I'm gonna make a video and go over everything that you've told me in that video. So we're gonna have a video of showing upcoming Ikemen projects for anyone who wants to be involved with us in 2Dverse. We're gonna do that. So definitely PM me on Discord, give me all the information for your game, and then I'm gonna make a video talking about all of your games individually, one by one. So we're gonna create our own Ikemen news channel. This is our own community. We're not associated with the Mugen community. We're creating our own community that's not a part of any of that drama, that's just focusing on game dev and specifically game dev. So if you're interested, definitely give me a holler or we'll feature your game. Let's see. Force Mugeners. We're gonna get to that. And then Ikemen Plus. Oh man. I'm probably gonna have to make a different video specifically going over Ikemen completely. Because there's just so many things that there's just so many things to go over. Essentially, let me just give you the Ikemen breakdown. So Ikemen, short and sweet, is your best way to replicate arcade perfect games. As this engine is still in development, I'm not saying it's perfect right now, but the goal is to it's not Mugen. Ikemen is not Mugen. The goal of Ikemen is to make it so that everyone who uses Mugen can still use Ikemen with no worry. So all your stuff is transferable. Things work similar. They're doing it to make it easier for people to transfer over to it. That's the purpose of Ikemen. And that's why when you look at the Ikemen page, it says an engine that supports Mugen resources. It is not Mugen. And like I said, if you're casual, the specifics of why it's different won't matter to you. But if you're someone making games, you should see the differences and why. You should look into it basically. But anyways, Ikemen just comes with different modes. It comes with online. It's delay based. Someone was working on a rollback, but not a lot of people know about this engine, so it doesn't get a lot of support. That's why I've been trying to hype it up for years. But there's just a lot of different extras in there that get you closer to making arcade-like games and actual games like commercial products. That is why Ikemen is awesome. And that's why you see Ikemen with the 3v3 and all this stuff that Mugen can do. But again, everything with Mugen, you have to create some workaround to do it. Not everyone is interested in doing that. You can spend 10 years working on the tag system when Ikemen comes with one by default. So it's really up to you what you use. There's some things like Ikemen Plus. I'm going to go to this because I'm going to make a whole video with CD2 about this, by the way. But I'm just going to fast forward it and see, like, so we can see some of the things that Ikemen Go, Ikemen Plus are different. Sorry, that there's so many IP videos out already that you can look at. I go over these differences, but basically it was Ikemen Plus, and then Ikemen Go now, which is the current one, which is more people working on it, more hands on it. It's the most advanced version to date. But there's other versions like this one. This version was continued specifically so those who do not have like, you know, high-end rigs can use it. Those who don't have OpenGL, things like that. This for the DirectX users. This is why this individual has continued to work on this older version, so other people can still have new features with Ikemen, just not on the latest version of the engine. This is what Ikemen Plus came before Ikemen Go. But this video in particular, if you look at this channel, CD2, he's working on Ikemen Plus, adding a lot of features for all of you with low-end PCs. You can't run Ikemen Go. So definitely check out this channel if you're interested in seeing exactly what features he's been adding. So I'm just going to go through this really quick. So arcade services finished. Okay, so he updated training mode. Okay, so this is just what I was talking about. So the continue screen from fighting games, right? This is not in Mugen. This is exactly from Street Fighter Alpha 2 as we saw it. Like I'm saying, like all of these things in conjunction that you have in your game is going to make it feel more official. So why would you want to use Ikemen over Mugen? If you want to create something that truly feels official. Not that you can't, but there's some things specifically that you absolutely cannot do in Mugen no matter what. I'm not going to list all of those one by one, but as I'm saying, I just simply say Ikemen is for that specifically to create games. More so than Mugen is for someone to just make a compilation. So as we just saw, the arcade services, as I was just saying, that we saw in that I was talking about in Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, that's also in KOF games. Difficulty level down, power will start at max, enemy life 1/3, change team mode, double defense. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And this is just an example of things that are found in real games. Here comes a new challenger, same thing. Again, that's in arcades that we know. When someone presses side and the other side, and here comes the challenger comes up, it's in here. Fast forward. So you got the wins on here in versus mode. Got the announcer, character and stage announcement. And he's going over a tutorial how to do that. If you want to see how to do this, definitely check out this video. So more extras. Hold on, let's pause it just so you can see. This is something that comes with Ikemen automatically. Extras. And this is why you look. Damn, that shit was fast. Hold up, I'm trying to catch it. Okay, look, he got events, endless, mission, time trail, sound test, storyboards, gallery. None of this stuff is in Mugen. But he's creating all this stuff here. Like I said, gallery mode, first thing come to mind. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, how I had the gallery thing, how you can look at the pictures and stuff like that. And I also got to show you guys, like, dang, like how Ikemen started to where it is now. I know this video is going to be quite long, but hey, watch it if you want to be educated. Okay, so he's just going over a tutorial how to do that, but there's a gallery mode. And this is event from the looks of it. So he has it so it's set up to activate like some arcade machines, right? From the looks of it. Like the date is on here, which looks in-game and the time. And the event select will be available from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. So this is in engine. Like this is what I'm saying. This is why you use Ikemen over Mugen if you're interested in things like this. Because obviously this is beyond what we saw in the beginning. You're in those Mugen games, what are your options to do? I'm not shitting on this stuff. I'm just saying, what are your options to do? You're gonna get bored of it after once in a while. All you can do is arcade, survival, the basic modes, that's it. I guess that's pretty substandard to most fighting games, right? That are out. But this is going the extra mile. This is some Smash Bros type stuff on here, right? You got event mode, mission mode, time trail, all these other things that you can spend your time doing. Survive 40 rounds. Okay, we saw that. The event is unavailable. Okay, yeah, see, so this is cool. It's kind of like Smash event mode, right? And again, people do more than just make fighting game stuff on there. Let's say like someone try to recreate Black Ops Zombies, literally. But yeah, as I'm saying, there's a lot of stuff out there like this It just doesn't really get highlighted because people don't really know about it. But just look at this. And I always tell people to not look at this stuff at face value. I think this is probably kind of loud, man. My bad. Don't look at this stuff at face value. Look at this and look at, like, if this is possible, what else is possible, right? And a lot of people with imagination, they're gonna take that and just go out the door with it and understand that if this is possible, it means that you could do so much more. So people are not just creating fighting games anymore. And then all these other devs and scouts that are out there, if you come across this video, I want you to look at these individuals and see that they are destined to make fighting games. They're destined to be software engineers. They're destined to have some position somewhere like that in the future. Definitely look out for them. They're taking this stuff and creating nothing, or creating something from nothing. So it's wild. It's crazy. And this was always in Ikemen Plus, how you can have your single player select screen could be different when on versus. So you guys are gonna go through the specifics of all of these things yourself. So there's a lot of this. You should just check out this channel. Let me see here. And then just see all of the things, all of the advancements that he's been working on. A track mode, arcade mode, putting that on there. Let's see. Let's check this out real quick. I'm gonna find that. So the attract mode stuff like this is in Ikemen by default. You remember when you go to the arcade and you see the intro, it starts up automatically, it shows the characters fighting, then it goes back to the ranking screen. This is in Ikemen. This is not in Mugen. Again, like I said, I like to use the expression to recreate the arcade experience, to actually include all of that stuff in the games we used to love from yesteryear, but here in the future, because you don't really see this stuff anymore. Not in all games anyway. Maybe in some, there's some here or there, but you don't really see this kind of thing there. But it's really cool to have this. You create for the highest score, you get your name on there, whatever. That's dope that this is possible. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, obviously, if you don't care about actually making a game, like this stuff is not gonna matter. Let me see if there's anything else on here. I think this is. Anyways, check out this channel as you want to see some other Ikemen stuff. This is on Ikemen Plus, remember, not IkemenGo. If you want to look on IkemenGo, you can literally just Google it. Wait, hold on. Let me see. IkemenGo. Mugen is closed sourced. IkemenGo is open source, right? An open source fighting game engine that supports Mugen resources. Mugen is not Ikemen. But people are going to be stubborn. And like I said, I think it's disrespectful to continuously say that when these people have been working on it to create something that is close to that so that everyone who did use Mugen can still enjoy it the same. So they created and changed all this stuff and did it all of themselves. It's not Mugen. It's not. It supports Mugen resources, and they have gone out of their way to make it, you know, to ensure the compatibility is there. Have some respect for the people who are putting their time in this. I just personally don't like it when people say that, but of course there's people out there who are going to be assholes and do it anyway out of spite or just to be jerks. Whatever, screw them. That's why I don't really try to say anything about it anymore. But for those who want to know, it is not the same thing. It's not. From how it is built, its infrastructure is not the same thing. They just have simply been working on that compatibility. So for anyone who actually cares about games, just know the difference. So here's another game. This one is on IkemenGo. So this is another one where the creator just went ham. He made all of these characters, not all of them, but most of them, the new characters from wherever else. Let me just go to his channel. I don't think this is his channel. Let me go to his actual thing. And yeah, if you guys want to support people who are making this, people gotta stop shunning people and demonizing them from trying to earn money. Everyone on YouTube is literally doing the same thing by doing Let's Plays or whatever the case may be. It's just that there's so many ignorant people in the Mugen community that have no idea how this stuff works. YouTube, Patreon, all of these platforms were created for you to have a loophole to earn on things you normally could not earn on. For everyone out there, I need for you guys to understand and learn your rights. You are not in the wrong. If you're selling your services, you're selling your time, you are not in the wrong. People would like to gang on you. I understand if it's majority versus, you don't really have anyone on your side to combat and fight for you. Let me tell you, understand and know your rights. Do not listen to everyone telling you you're doing something wrong by doing what everyone on the YouTube platform does. People want to pick and choose who it's okay for. If you're on this community, if you can do something well, sell your services. Because you're putting in all this time and all this work for what? You're getting nothing. People will sit up here. Look at this guy. He's released season 3 and he's still at 182 subscribers, right? He's been making this game, 400 likes, whatever. People are not supporting him like that. They're not supporting his channel. What are they doing to help him grow? Nothing. People will if you give something for free, people are going to take advantage of it. I'm not telling you to sell a game. I'm telling you to sell your time. Right? If anyone asks you to do anything, if you could do it well enough, charge them. Respectfully, that's what I suggest for you. Because people will take advantage of you. Just because the engines are free does not mean your time is. People should respect you and your time and respect you as an artist or whatever you're doing in your craft. That's just how I see it. And like I'm saying, like when I look at this guy has been putting out characters. No one's helping him like that. No one's supporting him like that. So when I saw his thing to donate for him, definitely, if you like his stuff, support him and what he's doing. You're going to make it a lot easier for these guys. I guarantee you that this guy is staying up till 5, 6 in the morning working on this stuff, getting 3 hours of sleep, getting 2 hours of sleep, maybe not sleeping at all for a day, because that is how these creators be doing it. I know a lot of these guys and I've seen it. And I've done it multiple times, but I'm just saying, like, the more you know. Already Sub-Zero and Kratos, okay? Freaking Alex the Kid, Logan, Leon Kennedy. This guy made all of these characters. Here comes a new challenger. And this is Super Crazy Gem Season 3. Marco, Kyo, Laura Croft, Soul Bad Guy, freaking Kazuya. I'll just say Kaede because Kaede he's already in Last Blade. He's not a new character. And look at his stages with the characters in the background. This is a game without question. UI, unique characters, unique gameplay system. Ikemen Go. There's really not much to say. This is a game. This is an Ikemen Go game. So again, you see all those compilations out there. They don't look somewhere similar like this with that consistency. You know it's a compilation. Got a KOF Soul Bad Guy. Look at that. Kazuya from Tekken. Look at the in all unique stages and everything. Like I said, scouts out there, you see this part, hit up this guy. You guys, you gotta look and see the potential in people. If this is what they're doing now, and this is with barely any support, I guarantee you this person is not really getting that much support. Imagine what they could do with your support. Just imagine. You know, people bet on someone's potential. Bet on someone's potential. Added move list because this is also in game. So Ikemen, like that's a dead giveaway from how you know it's Ikemen. Whenever you see online mode, by the way, story mode versus mode online training. There's more modes than this, though. You can add them or take them away, up to you. Super Crazy Gem. And this was season 3, the latest, and the link is right here. You guys can download that if you want that. Definitely check this game out. And this is showing more of it. But like I said, this is the golden standard right here. This is a game, right? This is for the people who are like, for this. I guarantee you that people have been watching this guy as he's worked on this, getting pissed off at him, calling him all kinds of names, getting angry that they can't have this stuff as he was working to make it the final version of, like, to visualize his vision. I'm saying this because I want people to be aware of all these people in the YouTube comments that will find these people, attack them, hound them. And there's more of them than there is of the creators. And I am in full support of the creator, not the player or whatever. Excuse me. I am on the side of the devs. So I'm going to say that I want people to notice and see these people out there when they're just talking about this stuff, they have no idea what goes into it. They don't care. They see something they want and they get pissed off and they can't have it. I would tell you, I'm gonna talk shit if someone's like talking shit to me, but all these other guys are likely more respectable than me. They're better than me for it, but I'm just saying. Me, I've been hearing that too long, but you know, I'm gonna tell you what's up. So let me see. Okay, so I'm gonna end this with, of course, gotta go to Mugeners. So this is my homie, right? He also works together with me on SXE. And he's been working on this for I don't know how long. This guy has been working on this for more than 5-6 years. Why? What does he get out of it? Nothing. And again, same thing, low subscriber count. Low subscriber count. People want, but they are not supporting these artists like that. This is why I don't feel like anyone should be pressured into doing anything, because no one's gonna do shit for you anyway. I'm just specifically saying that not to get you to be angry or resentful and wanna not release your stuff. I'm saying that specifically so you know, as the creator, you do not owe anyone anything. Simply create at your own leisure, have fun, and complete your vision as you see fit. Don't be pressured into releasing anything or giving someone anything just because they're gonna bitch at you or turn into your enemy if you don't. Unfortunately, that's more than likely that's gonna happen. You're gonna, as you continue to grow, get more popular, and people see things they can't have, they're gonna become haters if they can't have it. I want people to be aware of that, and that is a thing that happens. If you could be releasing characters like I did for years and years and years and years, but when you stop, now you're enemy number one. Like people are weird. Let me just say that. And then after this, I'm gonna go over some of the compilations that I did, some of the stuff that I started, because I wasn't always making a game at first. Hold up. So this is Mugeners 4. So here's the thing, man. There's some history with the title of this, why it's called Mugeners. And Mugen is in the title for views. But this is on Ikemen. This is on Ikemen Plus specifically, the version before IkemenGo. Whether these things are from other games or whatever the case may be, the thing that you gotta understand is that people are doing this with no budget. So even if these assets are reused from something, you're taking what you have available and making the best, making do with it. And making do with what's available. But just look at this. And of course he created his own story mode and everything like that. Man, this man went ham. Added new character to his game. Got the moves from KOF 14, 15. Got a unique gameplay system. Story mode, all this extra content. Guy has his own original character for his project. That's dope. It will be dope to have that too. Mugeners, the Orochi's Origin. This is not Mugen. I do not agree with this title, but apparently it's some callback to an old UI or screen pack by someone else. So it's like a legacy type of thing going on with the title. This is not Mugen. This is made on Ikemen Plus, just to clarify. So I already made a video on this, by the way. You could check it out. But as you see, when people go the extra mile, got the special intros in there. Yep, and that's another thing. People underestimate adding new voices. This is something that adds to the time it takes to do everything. Got Cronin in there. So, of all the games I recommended, I recommend this one to get your feet wet with Ikemen, right? To see why you like this, so you can see the differences in the modes and things like that. There's a story mode in here. There's some cutscenes. There's a little bit of everything in this, more so than any of these other projects that I've looked at. There's like an adventure mode. There's like all kinds of things in there. You should try it out for yourself. You could download this today, so be sure to put this in your library. Attack boost in HD and max mode. I wanted to cover this more in depth, this game specifically, more so than this does right here, but I mean, I guess this is sufficient, but still, I think that we can still cover it again and bring more light to it, because this project is insane. Transformation, this is also in KOF wing, by the way. I'm not trying to overshadow this, but I also have transformation as well, so. Got the story mode and stuff. Look at that. Play co-op. You can do that in most of these. They got this little extra platform mode. Look at that. Got the beat up all the guys. Character biographies. Gallery mode, as we saw before. So the thing about the online mode is that in Ikemen Plus, indefinitely is delay based. In Ikemen Go, currently delay based. There have been some individuals who tried to make rollback work, but because they're working for free, as everyone who's doing projects like this are working for free, there's no time limit you can put on anything. I gotta convey this. No one is getting paid to do any of this. People think people are making so much money from doing fighting game videos. Look, fighting games, no matter what, is poverty. No, you're not making anything on making fighting game content. I can just tell you that. That's why your top fighting game people are doing other things, because fighting games are not that appealing to anyone who's not hardcore about them. There is no money in fighting games whatsoever. So it's not about that. But the reason why I said that is because rollback could be a thing if people had more incentive to work on it. But I try to hype it up. I try to get people to join in. I try to get something started. But people are not being paid. They can only be motivated for so long. Eventually that passion is going to burn out. It's just how it is. And people have to understand that that comes with free stuff. And I covered this before on this channel. The story mode like goes back to the very beginning before Iori got his purple flames and everything. And again, this character has its own original character. This game has its own original character. Dualon from Breakers in there, cameo. Beat 'em up platformer experience, never seen before in Mugen universe, nope. So look at this. It's like the adventure mode goes into this where the characters are having dialogue, and then it changes back to a one-on-one fight with the light bars. Crazy. And then back to the cutscenes that are all in game. So the first two prologues are there as he's working on this, and this guy is working on this like every second of the day. Seriously, I wonder if this guy ever sleeps. Probably not. So anyone who's a fan of this guy, support this guy. Support this guy. This dude is always working on this all the time. Literally. You're not demonizing anybody supporting by doing something obviously that has so much love put into it. You're just gonna make it so you get more content at a faster rate by supporting someone if you like their content. If you don't like their content, don't support it. But if you do, support your favorite artists, support your favorite people. You're downloading their stuff for free. Help them out as well so they can continue to make more stuff. But of course, if you don't want them to make more stuff, understand that the time that it's going to take for them to accrue the resources themselves, that means that you have no say so on how long it takes, right? That's what the thing is, the catch-22. You want something for free, well, you're gonna get that free waiting time, like the time that you're not getting that express. You want free, you're not getting that express. So, and then I know this, most people do commissions similar to us. They do commissions so that they can get more to put towards these things that we cannot make money on. I'm not making money on YouTube videos, making XSE videos or anything on fighting games. I make zero. Having 20,000 views, you're gonna get like $1 or something. Okay, so that's about it for that one. Again, check this out if you want to hear him talking about some more specifics of that. Now I'm gonna show you a little bit about where I started. So I started using Mugen, and then we started using Ikemen. I'm gonna give you a little quick Ikemen history in this video. So I started like this. All of this stuff is out here. If you want to look at what I've been doing from look at this, 9 years ago. I dedicated a lot of my time to creating things for the fun of it, not for anyone. And I'm not spiting you or being anything towards you, like that person dangling something in front of you because I'm just doing something, minding my own business, just uploading videos on YouTube. Like, people have this ego. Oh, it's crazy. Anyways, this is what I started doing, making Mugen compilations. This Capcom vs. SNK 3 screenplay that came out. Look at this. Look at the edges on the characters. And some of these portraits I got from other people, but I was trying to make my own custom portraits and stuff like that, and make all the characters fit to make it look like it was actually. But look at the names, so they're not even aligned properly or whatever. Like, I started off trying to create my own CBS3. Using that Bandicam. So for the longest time, I was just making compilations and editing characters for people upon their request. I did this for about 5-6 years, I don't know, until, as I'm gonna build up to you, I was like, I'm tired of people just using me to get me to make characters for me. They were not really my friends. And the moment I stopped making them characters, they became my enemies. They started to hate. When I started to get more attention from people, more shine, my views went up, whatever, then of course people are going to start hating, because that is something naturally that happens for anything that gets attention, and there's someone out there who feels that you don't deserve it. It's all out of spite. And then let me see, I think I have another Mugen one, but anyways, this one is pretty much the same. It's just, I just had a bunch of Mugen compilations that I was creating at the time, trying to make. I thought that I was making what SXE is now. Back then, that was my intention, what I was trying to do. But this was in a period of time where I gave in to people asking me, hey, hurry up, give me the link, whatever, thinking that I'm gonna make friends and make people who are gonna help me out and things like that. It never changed. I just became someone to use. People just used me to get things out of me, and they had no intention of helping me with anything. So this is the first time where we're using Ikemen, and this is the thing I made various compilations on. This is the very first version of Ikemen, the very first one, when we didn't have any modes or anything. It just had the online mode, and we were just doing that. So my intention in the very beginning was to put this together for everyone to download so we could play online with each other. And this is one of the first releases I ever did to try to do that. And I never insinuated making any of this stuff. I had already said it in the beginning. The purpose of this was to just get people together so we could play some fighting games online. This is one of the first online matches that we had on Ikemen, on delay-based netcode, back in the Tungo days. But anyways, all of this stuff is on here. The titles, I believe, one time Leonor changed all these titles to try to help me get more views, but these videos are actually on Ikemen, not Mugen, in the very first version of Ikemen at that. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. But anyways, we had our own community of us playing our own Capcom vs. SNK Ikemen build. We would play that online, and it was fun. This is what motivated me into creating SXE, because I wanted to create something that was actually a game, but we could still play online like this. Dude, these days, oh my god, this was so fun. This is before everyone being haters, everyone, all this drama, all this other BS. Like, anytime it's more about emotions and less about game development, I'm out of there. It's just a waste of time. Like, people are miserable in their lives and they need something to do. And I also did a KOF compilation. I've made many compilations for people over the years, put in hours and hours and hours of time that I'm never gonna get back, just to try to make people happy. And then people would speak to me and talk to me as if I've never done anything for them because they feel entitled to everything I do for the rest of my life. No, especially if you hating, definitely no. I'm not gonna say what I was about to say, but I'm gonna say the thing that goes without saying. Suck one. So I made another KOF compilation, which is KOF. Like, this is what we saw earlier in the beginning. I started off making compilations too. This is before. So originally I made compilations just for us to enjoy them. And then as we continued to play them, as we will play, it's like, oh damn, that's kind of cheap. That's unfair. And then that's when I began editing. That's how I learned to do everything, by editing. A lot of people try to demonize that. But as I said, there's no teachers in this. No one's going to help you or teach you how to do this. They're going to tell you to go look at the docs. No one's actually going to help you out. Not that they're entitled to either. So you kind of just got to figure it out. That's why editing characters is the best way. I fully recommend everyone to do that to get started. So as we saw, that was that one. These are more videos of me creating my first character. I try to create a King and Fei Long. Try to create a Yoon. And this is the KOF Online, another compilation that I made and I released, so we can have online matches. And this more stuff of me trying to make my own imaginary CVS3. These are more online matches. Like, this is the beginning of SXC. This is the history. This is what I started with. And I feel like I've been going through nothing but hell and nonstop obstacles to get to where I am today, but none of that shit stopped me. People hating, people out to create smear campaigns, all of that shit. Is because this shit was, look, 1,000 views, like, this was like hot. People hating on that because it's just a compilation, motherfuckers be hating. It's just how it is. But look, this base Ikemen. Watch mode, 1 versus CPU, 1 versus 2, online, port change, replay, CP versus 1 player. So, the funny thing about Mugen, I believe it doesn't have 1 player versus a computer. I believe that's not a mode that's in the engine. So right away, Ikemen already, when it came out, this is what people refer to as vanilla Ikemen. It doesn't have any UI. You literally start it and this is the screen that you get. This is how Ikemen started. This is 8 years ago, god dang. I remember I got someone to make this versus thing for me. I don't remember who it was, but I remember I was like, dang, man, this is tight. Like, thinking this was cool. But again, all the while I was doing this, my only intention was so that we could have more fun having competitive sets. That was my only motivation at the time. This is before I became so jaded as I am now because people just hating because this started to get popular. But let me see. Yeah, as you saw, that's how it started. And then this is when I first got the font working and stuff like that. Like, all of this stuff is on here. It's crazy. Like, I changed this font on here and I was so proud. Like, oh, I changed the font. Like, this video, I got 80004 font on here. So eventually, as I was doing this stuff, I just became more and more invested in like trying to make a game, trying to make it actually solid. And I'm not gonna use the word balance because that's subjective, but I just got more and more addicted to trying to actually make this cool, like an actual CBS3 or something of that nature like it. So just know, like, that was my intention from the very beginning to do that. And all the while, I was just editing all of these characters with that goal in mind. Oh, actually, let me go to something so I can show you guys, give you guys an example. What's a character that I did? I'm just gonna use this as an example. So actually, let me go to one of these videos because look, as I said, people don't know. Oh, wait, this is when I first tried to do the dialogue thing. People don't know for the longest time. I was trying to make this for everyone, and I was releasing all of this stuff for the community, right? Everything I did, I was trying to get people to come in and join us and play. Cause look, this is when I first was trying to introduce and add dialogue and stuff like that. Way back in Vanilla Ikemen, I was trying to do all of this stuff solo. No one was interested in helping. No one had the same ambition to create something like a true experience. Only me. I was doing it solo. And then I was just so desperate for connection and friends that I would just let people get me into like, oh, can you edit this for me? Can you do this for me? And I would do that, do that, do that. But look, all these edits, a lot of these things, I edited them. So you've been playing with my edits and you don't even know. All this time you've been playing with something that I edited and did not even know. And let me show you the messed up part about this. I'm gonna show you in a second when I can find it. Um, so yeah, as I was learning to make characters, everything is on here. Okay, so here's an example. So here's an example of people changing the goalposts. Like I'm trying to say, like the thing with the Mugen community that's just unfortunate is that I would create these compilations like this and release them and leave everything as is, but someone will always go behind me and because I was trying to make games at this point, right? I was trying to, even though I was not experienced enough as I am now, so the way things look now, I was trying to do this right, trying to make a game, and then people would just keep leaking it and leaking it and leaking it. So I just eventually I had to get to the point where I was like, whatever, I'm gonna just give it to you as is. Remember, I had the intentions to make a game, not things be as they are, because this is just a compilation. This is just edits. People, a lot of that people requested, they asked for whatever. So people will download this and then upload it somewhere else. For example, like this. Now, you just have to understand. I have never uploaded this. For example, this is supposed to be me right here, 2D4. I never uploaded this, and nor did my putting my name or changing authors' names or anything like that. People would download or rip characters from the builds that I would create and then change it to my name like this. Never have I uploaded this. I haven't uploaded any of this. The only time I did was after, because people would just keep on doing this. Remember what I said before is that you can't really make games in here because people do not want to wait. They want things as soon as they see it and they feel entitled to it. So I would try to, hey guys, can you try this out? Like I'm trying to make this game. They would just download it and upload it somewhere else. And then that's how people would just be getting me in all sorts of trouble. It doesn't really matter now. I don't care, but I did have a problem with that a lot. So eventually it was just like whatever. But anyways, I was releasing these and doing this, like whatever the case may be. All of this is documented on this channel. So to say that I've never given anyone, no matter what you think the quality of this is, I tried my best at the time to do something. I was learning little by little with only people making fun of me, putting me down, telling me I was trash, whatever the case may be. The community is toxic AF, no doubt about it. Then I tried to create a Capcom versus game. Ikemen, again, this is with Kin Zakura's characters, however pronounce your name. But yes, I was just trying to get people into the spirit of trying to play games online and whatever. So I was trying to do everything I could to do that. Again, another KOF thing. All these videos are on the channel. You can see that one time when I made a KO, this video did so well at the time. This was on Mugen. I just put all the characters I edited together in a build and combined it with this screen pack to create this. And for some reason it went crazy. But if you go back to this channel and watch this, just look at how things gradually got more and more professional looking. I'm using light boards that one of the homies created, and I continued to work with them so we could update them. And then I started this movement to get these portraits made, and then the rest is history. As you see on this channel, gradually, you're gonna see the quality shift. Let's see. Let's keep on going. This is when we first were getting into 3v3. And this is all while working and doing other life responsibilities, by the way. It's not like I'm sitting here just doing nothing but this 24/7. But I still tried to put all the time in the world I could into this stuff to try to continuously make it better and better and better. And I did all of this for myself for the fun of it. And I would just, anytime anyone asked me to edit or do something, I would do it for them. But then, as like I told you, at some point, I eventually got tired of people using me for that. And once you are no longer of use to someone, then they become your enemy. Let me see. This is way back when we first got training mode in Ikemen. Look at this. Golly. If you ever needed an Ikemen history lesson, it's on this channel. There's only one other individual who was going hard at Ikemen at the time, and his name was F Class, something like that. You could look it up and put Ikemen, his name F Class, and then Ikemen, and you should see some of his videos. It was only him and I. He was even helping me with this at one point. So we were the only ones who were pushing Ikemen at that point. But then, literally, I'm going to explain it as I feel like it happened. Eventually, people hyped this up too much. And then people started to talk shit, say, was this a compilation? You know, anything that's going to get popular is going to be faced with the same, you know, circumstances. People are going to start hating, telling you that it ain't shit, whatever. And I just continuously tried anyways to keep on making it better and better and better. Like I said, this is when we first got training mode. When Ikemen first got training mode. But like I said, all of this stuff is on here, man. History. Some other things. Let's see. I just want to see when eventually like SXC became SXC. And I'll tell you, SXC became how it is. This is when I was trying to make double team supers when I first was learning how to do that. People kind of discount the time it takes to learn to do anything. They just assume that you're here around the clock working on this stuff. Heck no. That's not how it happens. This is back when I was first learning how to do double teams. Dang, that's crazy. Especially because I'm saying, look at it now. Look at how everything looks now. Again, more of these videos, just me messing around with Ikemen. That's when I was messing with Seimbu. I was, again, into like just learning about that stuff. That's another one. And these are just me. These videos are just me having fun. This is not me dangling anything in your face. I was just having fun playing with Ikemen. That's all these videos. That's all this channel is, with me working on game dev, learning about game dev, learning more about fighting games, and then making progress videos. Again, more and more. Let's see. This is when I first made that, when I was trying to make my own Terry, which eventually became much more than that. Again, let's see. I'm trying to see where the shift was. I'm still using ADD. And then eventually, I think this was the video. You see, look at the UI, how it looks here, but this was the first one. I think, like, again, I think at this point, I almost was like at a point where I almost got bullied out of doing this stuff, because that was big. That was big. There was a lot, as it is now with people in the FGC people are elite as fuck. So if you did not make anything that they felt that was up to their standard, they were going to shit on you. Meanwhile, it's just a bunch of casuals just trying to have fun and stuff, you know? But this is like when I first came back and I was like, you know what? Shit, I'm back in this shit. Okay, you can watch that if you want, but I just wanted you to see the UI. That was like the next UI change that I went to. And then I was right here. And this is when I started getting into tag stuff. Yes, I did that first, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. I was just saying, this is when I was very in the infancy of working on tag stuff. Right in the middle of learning about tag systems and tag team attacks and all of that. Okay, so let's keep going. And at one point, that I was doing all of this stuff, my hard drive crashed and I lost everything. And I lost motivation for a long time before I began to come back to this. And this video is a video that when I was working with Chamat, again, this is what this channel is now, that I'm using and paying my own money to create custom assets. I'm paying. You're not paying me. You're not helping me pay. I'm not saying this in anger towards you, but for the people who be hating and talking shit about that specifically, you will not help me pay for it, but you feel entitled to it. That is absolute bullshit. I'm just saying. So for anything that people see and you see people out there hating about that shit, I want you to look at those people. And because I always tell them, well, you could always help me and you can have access to it as well. We split the cost. But if I pay for it 100% by myself, no, you are not entitled to it. I don't have to give you shit. So that's just how it is. That's just how I am specifically. If we do an even split and it's fair between us, then obviously it's equal. You could do with whatever you want. But if I'm paying for everything solo, I am not just giving you everything. You are not entitled to it. That's why I created the Patreon for anyone who wants to split the cost so we can all save money because it is expensive as fuck. So, and this is what I made the Ikemen video. All of these videos are on the channel. Just hit oldest. And then I just started to get more and more into it. Okay, look, this is where the person, someone had created this logo for me. And this is when SXC first got his name. But even though it says 4 years ago, that's not the starting point of the project. The project came much later. It wasn't until I actually started to learn more about what I was doing, how I wanted to create a unique gameplay system and all of that. Okay, so this right here, this Makoto video, this is where the hard drive crashed. So everything before this video, I lost all of that stuff. And that absolutely devastated me. I was absolutely devastated and wanted to quit. I stopped doing this stuff for a while. And then I just eventually got back into it. I was like, man, whatever. And I just started over, working on editing characters little by little, trying to create my own unique thing. And you see more of this as you continue to progress on. I was trying to find my own thing, my own unique thing, because it was still a compilation in the sense that because I was learning from others who were giving me tips or told me to use this character as a base, that's how I learned. That was my learning style, to first see an example and then to reference that example. Then you look at this real video as I continue to learn more. I continue to make it more unique and more unique and more unique. And it starts looking unlike anything you've ever seen before. Then I'm starting to get into like more team attacks, creating more special animations, special intros and stuff like that. And I just continued to learn more until I could do my own thing and do my own thing and do my own thing. Because people try to hold you by saying like, oh, you just use something as a base. Yes, because the people at the time who taught me how to do this stuff, like when I asked them for suggestions, they said, oh, you should use this as a base instead. So that's how I learned. That was my learning style in the beginning, because it's always said to look at something close that you're trying to replicate and learn and see and understand how it works first. That's how you learn. And that's how I learned, by using other examples and learning. Now I don't have to do that. Now I can do whatever I want to do as long as I have the imagination for it. As you see, all of this stuff you see, all the combo pass and all of that stuff, that is the gameplay. That's something that I created myself. That's not just some whatever thing. I created my own thing from using nothing. Like you're going to start seeing in this section, CSX, that's when I was like beginning to put my own thing on it. Like Ken with the heat rush and everything. And then eventually CSX turned to SXC because to be like SNK first, as if it were SNK, like, like a spiritual successor to Match of the Millennium. That's where I first got that. And then that was like the very first logo, Crossroads, that Devin made, I believe. And then just some more videos of me messing with that. And then eventually, this is like around the time I met Honor. And then he started working on the UI stuff. And then he was working on the light boards at this time and other UI stuff. And then boom, boom, continue to go down here. Crossroads, because eventually Crossroads is going to change. Eventually Crossroads changed to Cross Impact. But again, all these videos on here, all these videos are not oh, you've been working on this all these years. This is all the time. This is the time it took me to learn everything that I know right now, with no help, with no one teaching you, showing you how to do anything, because that's just how it is. It's not really a supportive community. It's very click based, and if you're not cool with one person, everyone doesn't associate with you because your relationship on that individual. That's just, it's just so petty. Unfortunately, that's how this community. That's why I do not associate myself with the Mugen community. I am not a part of the Mugen community. For one, I don't use Mugen, and for two, I think it's just so freaking crazy toxic. So when I say my community, we're creating our own community that does not associate with everything that those people do. And then this is when I got another UI, and then eventually it changed to this, to what you see now, right? And as you see, let me see here. This was probably the point. This Vice video was the first video when Honor had just finished like some of the life bars. This was where SXC became SXC. And then we're trying out the new dialogue stuff and everything. And then the UI, you know, dang. You see, everything looks a little bit different now than it does now, but even now today, it's still a work in progress. But just to show you, like, and these behind the scenes stuff, you don't know. Like, I had to get help for this. I had to pay a lot of money just to get help. People are not helping me for free. I think that's what a lot of people think. That's not how it works. No one is helping you for free unless you are absolutely lucky. With some of the individuals I've met, some of the things I have been able to get, luckily, without having to spend an arm and a leg, but all the time, heck no. I've been paying top dollar. I'm not saying that for you to be like I said, you don't owe me anything, and I'm doing this of my own violation. But I'm saying that this is why I don't like when people talk to me as if I owe them anything, because you are not helping at all towards any of these goals. I'm telling you, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. People are not supporting me like that. People are not trying to help, lining up to help me like that. You're just sitting back waiting till I eventually release something. Yo, you should have zero expectations, because I have never mentioned or promised that I'm making anything for anyone ever. And I never will, because first and foremost, everything I do is for my homies and people who we share fun and game dev. If we fully realize this and complete it, of course I'm gonna release it for you. But before then, don't ask me for shit respectfully if you're not doing anything for me. And I'm not saying that should be disrespectful at all. It is because this is not free for me. And I hate when people just create all these lies and bullshit because they cannot accept the fact that, no, I'm not going to be sitting here putting in all this while you do the bare minimum and expect the same. Hell no. That's not fair at all. So as you continue to see, SXC just continue to evolve and evolve and evolve and evolve. And my edits, things like the compilations that I release for you guys, there's many of them that I've skipped that you can find on this channel. If you just look for releases on my channel, you'll see everything that I've released. But then I just remember there was at one point I was just like, man, fuck everybody. I'm just going to focus on working on game dev. And that's what I did. And because I did that, this is completely different than anything that I've ever seen before. And I'm proud how it's turned out. Just from me ignoring all the freaking toxicity of that Mugen community. And just doing my own thing. I don't care if people like me, whatever. Everyone started rumors talking shit because this was getting attention. So people were bound to be hating. And I just continue to grow and improve and improve. Now, none of this shit looks like anything anyone has because it's not. And again, I'm not saying that out of shade or anything. I'm saying it because I want to actually create an experience, something. I want to create something so fire above anything that you ever played or seen in your life. Everything that we've ever said as fans, why the fuck not would I not try to do that shit? Because it's never going to happen. We're never going to get anything like this ever. And at the same time, I get to help the companies that I love. They've even given me some opportunities to make some little money on the side by using like the storefront and things like that. These brand deals and things like that. They've helped me out like that. So the least I can do as I get to enjoy making game dev, teaching people more about these characters, teaching people more about these games, learning more about these games and characters myself, and I just get to have fun with it and expand the universe and support the companies at the same time. It's literally like a dream for me. So everyone telling me that I'm doing things that inspire, like, I don't even know you exist. I'm literally just working on game dev and having fun doing it. Yeah, and you can see all the things that I've been wanting to do and blah, 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 blah. Do yourself a favor and check out this. Check out this little timeline of me, the creator, Like I said, if you look back, I've had about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I don't know, 8 compilations I've released over the years that I've given to you guys. But at one point, I was just saying, you know what? It could sound selfish to you, but as I said, I'm just giving, and never getting anything in return. I do not owe anyone anything. And now more than ever, that I've seen that giving for years does not guarantee that anyone is going to support you. There's been people who've supported me here or there throughout the course of time, and definitely thank those people, those individuals. I don't remember everyone's names, but those who have supported me, definitely thank you so much. I try to put that in many of these videos, descriptions and credits, but no one ever looks at the descriptions, and so everyone's always crying, or like I said, moving the goalposts, saying I'm not doing this or that, is because you got to go watch each of these videos. But hey, no one's actually going to watch every single one. But at the same time, don't come up with assumptions if you don't know the facts. A lot of the things that I'm talking about where I got this, who made this, are in the descriptions of these videos. It's just that people are not going to click on them and look at the description. They're just going to create some lie or whatever. Anyways, all that BS aside, this channel is still the de facto channel for SNK Capcom content, Capcom SNK content, the de facto channel. There is no other channel that knows more about this stuff than me. I'm saying that as I have pride in being a nerd, not that I'm better than you. I just think different. That's a substantial line, by the way. But anyways, yeah, that's about it I gotta say on that. Do yourself a favor, as I said, and check out these videos. I've been going and trying my best. You don't owe me anything, but if you do want to help me out, give me a subscribe, and that will go a long way. Hey, this has been a long lesson on what Mugen is, what Ikemen is. If I didn't go over any specifics, or if you would like for me to cover something else in another video, please let me know and I'll get to it. This was kind of over the place a little bit, but I had to get some of that stuff out because a lot of that stuff is attached to a lot of these events that have happened in time. But as I said, I want to create a new community. For those of you who still have fun making this stuff and doing stuff like that, do not give in to the hate. Do not give in to the spite. Let's create. Let's have fun. We could do so much more. And it's just going to be so freaking awesome when you see what's in store for the future. So, man, definitely thank everybody for sitting through this. Until next time, the next video, this 2D. Peace out.